Hey, Riding Sidesaddle. It's Tammy.
And it's Louise.
Of Thelma and Louise?
Yes. It's Lisa, a.k.a. Louise. Mm-hmm.
I don't remember who is which.
I don't remember
who's
either.
Thelma and who's Louise?
I remember it was a good movie, and
Yeah.
I did like the end, but I
did
don't
too.
really remember a lot of the details.
I don't
That
either.
was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. I may have to try to watch that again.
So Tammy had mentioned in a pre-planned conversation that we had before the recording that we are just tied together. Like we are together no
That's
matter
it.
till the end.
That's it.
She goes like the Notebook.
Yeah, we have to go at the same time, like in the Notebook.
And I was like, I kind of thought we were more like Thelma and Louise.
Don't they commit
kinda
suicide at the end?
Yeah,
though?
but they got
well,
themselves in some good trouble first.
well, maybe, but I didn't mean we should kill ourselves together. I meant we should just die
Well, they go at
peacefully
the
in our
same
sleep
time.
together.
They're like, listen, we lived it. There is not
just
one good thing that's going to happen after
go
this.
out while we're
Let's
on
go.
top.
That's right. Get out while the getting's good. I could see us doing that. I'll probably be the driver.
Yeah, you for sure would be the driver. There's no way I would be down for that. Good Lord, that just thinking about it makes me want to
If
throw
you
up.
had to just go and be in prison the rest of your life, you'd be like, "This is my
Oh,
BFF."
well, yeah.
Like they did some
They
serious
did
shit.
some,
in
yeah,
that
they
movie.
got in big trouble. Yeah.
So if that was it, we probably wouldn't be cellmates. Like
No, they wouldn't allow that. Look how much trouble we got in when we
Exactly.
were,
exactly
on our own. Yeah, that's probably true. They
So-
probably wouldn't even have us in the same prison.
No.
No.
So that would have been it.
Keep those two far, far away from each other.
Well, that's what we say about thank goodness from our teenage years that we weren't together.
Also true. Yeah, we probably would have had a
There would have
Thelma
been
and
a-
Louise moment.
There would have been a lot of hell.
Yeah, it would have been bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't get close until we were
Well, too
emotionally
old for that.
prepared.
Until we were all done screwing ourselves up good.
Yeah,
Now we
yeah.
came back to repair
Yeah,
and
to
recover.
repair the damage.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's so sweet. It doesn't
Well,
sound like
something, I
Thelma
don't
and
know.
Louise at all.
No, again, we'll just drift off like in the Notebook.
Why do you always
I
have to be
think
right?
My analogy was a little more spot on.
Fine.
It's more accurate.
All right.
So, yeah. Lisa is here. Whether she likes it or not, she's here. She's stuck with me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We are.
So we're getting ready for New Year's. 2025 is about to be here.
Yeah.
As this episode will be aired, it'll be the end of December.
Yes, it will.
So we were thinking about, all the shoulds, right? The things you know you're supposed to do, but you just can't make yourself do it. And the things that stand in your way of doing the things that you know you should do.
Right.
And you know how I feel about the word should, right? It's a dirty, dirty word.
Don't shit all over yourself.
Exactly. But sometimes when it comes to self-care,
We're our own worst enemy.
for sure,
Mm-hmm.
I know I should be moving my body more. Why does that feel like a punishment instead of not even self-care, instead of being a reward even?
Right. Right.
It doesn't feel like a reward. It feels like a punishment. It feels like a should.
Like you have to, as opposed to you
I
want,
want
to
to,
or
yes.
choose to.
Right. There are some people who do it because they want to.
Mm-hmm.
They know they feel good when they're doing these things. I know that too,
Mm-hmm.
but I still can't find the switch to flip it.
So let me ask you a question. When you have,
Yeah.
because it's not that you've never found the switch
No.
to flip it, like
Right.
in any situation, it doesn't
Sure.
even have to be exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get that good feeling
Yeah.
while you're doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the endorphins
Yes.
happen.
And
For sure.
like, oh, I'm going to continue to do this.
Yes.
This is something really important to
Yep.
me now. I will make the space. I will choose to do
Yes. Yes. And then life gets really busy, and the very first thing that goes are the things
Yeah.
that make me feel good.
this. I was just curious if you ever did find that.
I did.
Yeah.
Lots of times I can remember feeling that way.
Mm-hmm. It's so interesting, the two of us. Like sometimes the outer candy shell might be a different color.
Yes.
But man, you bite right into the center of that thing, and it is the same stuff between the two of us.
The good chocolate in the middle.
Yeah. Of course.
The gooey stuff
Yes,
is good.
Yes. The you approach it differently, right? You communicate about it differently, and even sometimes in your life it's different than I do these things. So they look different on the outside, but on the inside, we're thinking and feeling the same exact things.
Sure. It can't just be the two of us who are thinking and feeling these things either.
No. Of course not. It's just so fascinating to me that when I'm listening to you talk about this, I'm like, oh, that's different than me. Oh, that's different than me. Oh, I handle it in a different way. But then as you keep talking, it's like, yeah, that's the same core feeling on the inside. And it's just like, I don't know. I do the same thing. Specifically exercise was our conversation.
Right.
We know based off of our conversations with Jessica and, months and months of interacting with her, that a really significant part of being able to continue to be successful on this
macros program.
The direction of health that we've been going is to exercise, and exercise regularly.
Even before Jessica, I've known that. This is not a newsflash to me.
Especially the age that we're at.
Oh, for sure.
The strengthening types of exercises are 100% critical right now to launch us off into the next, 20 and 30 years in a good place.
Right.
Like, to not do it now is kind of dumb.
It is. And for sure setting ourselves up to fail.
Yes.
I think about, in fact, I woke up thinking about that woman because, the not moving thing is really, it's eating away at me. So I'm probably punishing myself in some sort of way by not just moving.
Doing it.
Right. There probably is some self-sabotage in there, but I woke up thinking about the woman that we saw
in Appleton.
Yep. Yeah. When she was an older lady who fell. She just didn't lift her foot high enough, which could happen to anybody.
Of course. But she didn't have the strength
she
to
did.
recover.
Well, she looked like she didn't have the strength. She looked very thin and very frail. And how many times we've talked about, I don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to be 80 and be here, then I want to be moving and I want to be going places when I want to go and doing the things I want to do, and not be frail and, have to say no to things that I would like to do. But you got to start that long before you're 80.
Yeah, you do. And it creeps up on you very, very quickly.
For sure.
Even now, right? Getting up from my desk or getting out of bed in the morning, like I can feel that already now.
I agree. I was also thinking about, we read that article, the woman who was, gosh, how old was she? Was she in her hundreds?
Yeah, she was.
And how proud she was of herself that she could stand up from a seated position while holding 10-pound weights.
Yeah.
She didn't just start that when she was 99.
No, she did not. That's exactly right.
She's always been moving her body. So, is it really a should? Why does it feel like one? I don't like the shoulds. I don't like the have-tos. But this really does feel like a should and a have to.
Well,
in a positive way.
Right.
Like, you should do that. If you want this, then you have to do that.
Exactly. It's the hard part of self-care.
Yeah.
Self-care can, it's very circular, right? There can be massages and pedicures for self-care, or a girl's trip, or
which is a little more luxurious
right.
feeling than
and those are like
pounding out a dozen squats.
Right. Hell yeah, I want some self-care. I could use myself a facial, right?
Sure.
Something like that.
Sure.
But self-care means more than just
taking
the
care of yourself,
right.
which includes moving
the
your
hard
body.
work.
Yes.
the hard work, which
Right.
includes eating healthy and moving your body.
Right.
It's just harder.
It
Like,
is.
and maybe that's the have to and should have, because it's not,
Right.
it does not come easy.
Not for me, it doesn't. For some people, it looks like it does. I don't know if it really does, but it looks like it. There was a point in my life, I remember when I was much younger thinking, and when I say younger, I mean like in my 20s, even before that, in my teens, I did work out regularly because I wanted to look a certain way. Almost like the, there's a little stigma around letting yourself go, right? Now I'm middle-aged and I've let myself go. When I was younger, I didn't want to be that person who let herself go.
Yeah.
I lost that somewhere along the way.
That's,
So what? I'm married. What do I care if I let myself go?
right. Yeah,
Well,
but that's
I
not
didn't-
necessarily something that you actually, like...
I didn't consciously do
Right,
that.
right.
But I did lose sight of I don't want to let myself go. And this has just occurred to me as we're talking. Like, there was a time where I had that, where I exercised because I wanted to.
Right.
Because I didn't want to let myself go.
Right.
I didn't want to have
It
to
was
get to a
important
place.
to you.
Yes. I didn't want to get to a place. It wasn't even so much about looking a certain, well, it was kind of looking a certain way.
And maybe at that time in your maturity, that was right?
Perhaps.
And that's all right.
Yeah, maybe so. But somewhere along the way, I got to not really care so much.
Right. When it starts getting too hard, or when
And maybe that's it.
when things are like competing for that time and space.
Perhaps that's
Yeah.
it. But even when I was younger, in my 20s, and I was really busy with kids and little kids and a full-time job and a difficult marriage, and I still found time to exercise. I maybe wasn't always consistent about it, but I was more consistent than I have been in the last handful of years, for sure.
Right.
So, yeah. I'm going to have to think about that one a little bit more. What? Almost like I gave up on myself.
Yeah.
Too many times of starting again.
Yeah.
Finding the switch and flipping it again.
It's interesting. I wasn't big into exercise or any of that in my early, probably into my mid-20s. And then I started dating somebody after my divorce. And this, of all of the things about that relationship,
And which there are a lot.
there are a lot. But this was one thing that was
was a positive thing. Yeah.
He was very much into working out and me being the girlfriend. I'm like, all right,
I'll do that too.
Right. But it created a lot of that for me. So for a number of years then, it was working out in some capacity, right? Even after the relationship ended.
You kept that.
I did keep that until, very similar, I got married. And then we moved to where we move, and it made it really difficult to be able
you're in
to...
the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you
There
have to
isn't a
drive...
gym 5 minutes away.
Right. You have to drive to get there. So I lost a lot of consistency then. But what I find very interesting is the conversation that we were having tonight about why, we were talking about getting back into it.
Yep.
And we were talking about how hard it's been. I know that I need to start exercising for a number of reasons. And I've been talking to myself about it for a couple of good months, creating my plan in my head, telling myself you're going to, this is what you're going to do.
This is when you're going to do it. This is what you're going to do.
Right. It's not that hard. You've done it before.
Yeah.
Like, all of those things. And I've been doing that for a number of months. But today was the day, number one, that I did do it. It was a shit show. I didn't sleep well last night. And, I was up between like 1 and 3:30. And I'm thinking to myself, well, what am I going to do now? I set my alarm clock. I did set it for 5 a.m.
Ooh.
But at this point, I've gotten like 4 hours of sleep.
Right.
Like at best. And now I'm supposed to get up at 5 o'clock. That's not going to work. So then I change it to 5:30. I'm like, all right.
If I fall asleep right now,
Yeah, which
I'll
didn't
get
happen.
5.5 hours
Right.
of sleep. Yeah.
So I did oversleep. The alarm clock went off. I'm like, I can't possibly do this. Just like many of the other attempts that I've already made that I said I was going to do it. Or, something stupid like, well, you're already up at that time, so just get up. You don't even need to set an alarm clock. That's a big fucking lie to
I
yourself.
for sure will oversleep then.
Right.
For sure.
Right, which I did.
It's a guarantee.
Right. But today I did do it. I got up
Good for
late.
you.
I was like, no, like,
Even though you could have used that as an excuse,
for sure.
you didn't.
And I was really...
Today was a no excuses day.
Yes.
You're going to get up and
so
you're
I
going to
had
do
to
it.
figure it out. Well, I didn't get up at 5 o'clock.
No.
Because I was too exhausted. When I did get up, I had to figure out a new plan. Like you said, today was going to be the day.
Yeah.
So that's the story that you heard, right? My determination, my get it done type of all or nothing type of thing.
You follow through. You say you're going to do it and you do it.
And I don't fucking do it because it took this long for me to get going again with, what I said that I was going to do. So you just didn't hear any of that because even though we do the same darn thing.
We do. But why was today different? Why was today the day?
Because I was fed up with myself about the excuses.
Oh.
I mean, I
got sick of hearing your own excuses.
Girl, I can.
Oh, I can excuse.
Woo,
like nobody's
I am good
business.
at it. You think that I talk people into shit?
Yeah.
I talk me into some shit. I am very good at it.
I bet you do, Louise.
That's why other people believe me, because I got me believing me already.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm. So that's the part that kind of was interesting to me about our full circle of conversation. You see yourself as, I don't have the oomph. I don't follow through. I say I'm going to do anything.
Yeah.
But when you're looking at me, you don't see any of that. But I do it. I do it. We're the same on the inside. You saw a different color candy shell.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I just think that's very interesting.
That is interesting.
It's interesting from a self-reflection perspective,
For
right?
sure.
Because, right, like comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
Well, you're comparing what you saw on the outside and you're saying to yourself, I'm such a...
Why am I not like that?
What's wrong with me?
Yes.
And that's totally not true because we did the same thing. You just saw the end of my process.
So we're both self-sabotaging.
Yay!
Until today you didn't. Today you found the switch and you flipped it. How do you decide today is the day, and I mean it?
Because
I really mean it.
I get mad at myself.
And you get buggy about it.
Yes. And I know, so that our conversation continued. I know that, well, first off, I know I'm going to be sore as fuck tomorrow. Because...
Which stinks.
Yeah, it's my legs, like, they don't feel good already. So that number one tells me how much I do need it because I didn't actually do like crazy amounts. Okay?
Right.
So let's just be very honest here. Like my legs should not hurt this bad already.
Okay.
Okay. Based
Got
on
it.
what I did.
Got it.
Then I was tired of hearing myself give myself the excuses and I felt bad. I felt shameful about it. So now I know that I have to do something every day. And that's the part of me that we were talking about. Like, I know that once I do it, I just have to make it literally, this is just the way it is. I'm doing this all the time. it's the same thing.
It's like brushing your teeth. This is just what I do every day.
Yes.
I've heard that people often look at exercise that way. I
Like
just have not
no,
gotten
you just
there.
don't have a choice, right? Because you made this decision. But if you say, oh, tomorrow, I did it yesterday and my legs really hurt, I'm going to skip because this,
Which I've done. I need to give myself recovery. So I won't work out tomorrow, but then the next day I will. So I'll give myself a whole day. Unless I'm still really sore, then I'll need 2 days.
Right.
And then,
Right. Well, then I have this meeting at the
Yes.
time that I'm supposed to.
yeah,
It's
that would be
that.
too early of a day. So then Friday. Friday will be a good day. I can for sure make room for it on Friday. And then Friday comes and I don't want to do it because it's the end of the week.
Right. I'll just start up on Monday.
Yeah, I'll start Monday.
Girl.
So maybe I'm really only going to work out on Mondays and Wednesdays then. That'll be my schedule.
Yeah. And that shit never happens.
No.
So then you just have to do it. You just have to
Do something
every day. It doesn't have to be all the same. Like, I killed myself this morning. I'm probably going to do something different
Yeah,
tomorrow.
you're not going to work legs tomorrow.
That's not going to kill me.
Yeah.
Right.
Which wouldn't be good for you anyway.
No.
I've even gone so far, Lisa. I was telling her that the last couple of weeks have really been thinking you have got to, it's more than a couple of weeks, but for sure in the last couple of weeks it's really been on my mind. You have got to get moving.
Yeah.
You have to get moving. I have a treadmill in the basement.
Right.
I could listen to a 20-minute podcast or I could read while I'm walking. It's like weather it's not a thing. I don't, just go do it.
Right.
Well, Tammy, every time you start exercising, you get sick. So don't start now because who wants to be sick over Christmas? You were too close to Christmas to risk that. Don't. Tammy, just wait till after. Wait till the first of the year and then you can do it because you're going to get sick. You always do every time you start exercising.
And you even said that to me tonight. I was like, oh yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you told
did say
me.
that.
Yeah.
Yes. I got a cold anyway. I already got sick. So rather than supporting my immune system, I'll just
Right. Skip it.
let myself do
postpone.
nothing still. And then be upset because the scale's not doing what I want it to do.
Right.
This macros program has been terrific. It's taught me loads of things. But I'm frustrated because it's not moving as quickly as I think it should. I have a lot of weight to lose, so I feel like it should be coming off very quickly. I've said this before, and it's not. I'm at, it was a little faster at the beginning. It's now like trickled down to maybe a pound a month. That's ridiculous. I'm not down to the last 5 pounds.
Right. Right.
So I have to do something.
Yep.
Because what I am doing is not getting me
not
where I
cutting it.
want to be.
Yep.
And I'm frustrated, which is going to lead me to quit altogether.
Right.
And I don't want to do that because I
No.
will be right back where I started and then some.
And then you're going to have a
And I'll
really
be even
big
more angry at
disappointed-
myself.
Right.
Right. I've done that circle more than
And
once
that's
too.
going to be really hard to shift yourself out
Yes.
of.
Yes. Right. So I need to find a way to still meet the goals that I've set for myself. It's not just nutrition for me. That's apparently not how it's going to happen.
Right.
I need that and movement.
And both of those things are really, really wonderful.
They are.
Right? It's not.
So why does it feel like a punishment? Fine, the scale's not moving. I'll go for a walk. Why does it feel like that? Fine, I literally have weights sitting next to my spot in the living room. My side of the couch. I have weights, free weights, sitting there for years. They have been there. I move them, I vacuum, I put them right back.
It sounds. It reminds me of our conversation that we had when I stopped drinking.
Ah,
Right? I did not want.
yes.
It feels good. It feels good to, like,
let your hair down a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes. It doesn't feel good to get up at 5 a.m. and fucking make your legs feel like spaghetti.
Right.
I guess that's the difference. That's the intrinsic difference. Like, facials feel great. I'm happy
Yeah.
to give myself self-care.
That's self-care I can
Right.
sign up for.
Right. Somebody better massage this foot.
Right.
That feels great.
Right.
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 But this part.
Right. It is. I know that, like, perimenopause is a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
The symptoms that go with that are very real. The achy joints is, like, it's near the top of the list of perimenopausal symptoms.
Yes.
So when I'm feeling achy, I chalk it up to that. Instead of, I've been sitting too much.
Right. You know, here's the thing about perimenopause / menopause. Every symptom that's there is like a symptom in the kitchen sink. Like,
Oh, for
everything,
sure. Everything
could be qualified for it.
Right.
Now, I know my experiences, right? I know your experiences
Right.
based off of conversation, but I don't know all experiences. So perhaps all of these symptoms are related to perimenopause. On the other hand, like, it just feels like a really good catch-all on top of it.
Oh, for sure
So-
it does.
So your achy joints, to your point, I mean, they could, I suppose, be, but it's such a general symptom that could be caused by so many things.
Sure. For sure. But not moving
Right.
also causes those things.
Exactly.
So my point is, I've chalked it up to, I'm just getting older and I'm at this age where I don't have enough estrogen. That's why I hurt. I'm using that as an excuse.
Right.
When really, could that be some of it? Yep, I'm sure it is.
Right.
But not moving is not helping that.
Correct. Or it could literally just be not moving, because most
could
women
be.
who like have office jobs and suffer through are
Yes.
at
We
their
just
same
sit
age
all the time.
Right.
Right.
Our
and then you get
environments
in the
are
car
different, or the
to drive
same.
home and you sit some more, and then you get home and maybe you do a few things around the house, but then you sit, you have dinner and you sit, and then you watch TV and you sit, and then you go to bed, and then
Right.
there's no real movement happening.
Right. That's exactly right.
Yeah. So making the space for that, which really means in some way, I think, permission.
Yeah.
So
That's interesting.
So kind of like, you know, I have all these hobbies and I have loads of supplies to do these hobbies. I am realizing that I like to just collect supplies for hobbies.
Collect stuff.
Yeah, as opposed to actually doing the things, because I don't make space for it. I don't give myself permission to do those things. I just plan for it, and I get all of the materials I need, and then I don't follow through. I feel like exercise is one of those things. So I have a treadmill that I hardly ever use. I want a rebounder badly, and have for some time. I could buy one. I don't let myself buy one. And I tell myself it's because I already don't use the equipment I have.
Yep.
I have free weights that I don't use.
Yep.
I have a treadmill that I don't use. Is this going to be like the watercolor paints that I really needed to have,
Right.
that I don't let myself use very often?
Yeah.
But when I do use them, it's pretty fantastic. Is it going to be one more thing like that where I tell myself, if only I had this rebounder, then I would be working out all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't really give myself permission to use the things that I have.
Right.
I don't make the space for it.
Right.
So
That's
now
interesting.
I'm back to, I can't have the rebounder because I don't use the things I already have.
Right. Shame on
Well,
me.
then I'm not going to exercise if I can't have a rebounder.
Shame on me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Shame on me. That's where the should comes from, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
That's the self-sabotage thing. You should be doing that, but you're not. Shame on you.
Right.
Well, now I don't feel better about
And
myself.
you know all of these things and all of the reasons why.
You have all the tools. You just won't pick them up.
Right.
Shame on you,
What's wrong
Tammy.
with you?
Right. Guess who wants to go get a chocolate?
Nutty bar.
Yes. Whatever. Something chocolate for sure. Yeah, to make myself feel better. That doesn't inspire me to get on a treadmill
No, it doesn't.
or do whatever exercise.
It's very Enneagram 1
Ew.
Shame.
Yeah. And then the judgment.
Yes.
And now I want more sugar.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And, I may as well just stay right here since I'm just an
I'm mad-
unmotivated
well,
blob anyway.
And
I may
I'm
as
mad
well just,
about it now.
Yeah, so I'm
right?
just going to sit here and wallow.
I'm mad about it because I didn't get my rebounder, and I'm mad about it because I don't deserve it.
Ooh.
Because of
Ugh.
all of these bad things that I've done.
Or
You
not
don't-
done.
You don't do this, you
yes.
don't do that. Right.
Wow. That is yucky. That's like a big, the puke sign, the emoji,
Oh, yeah.
That color?
A barf. Yeah.
the barf emoji. Like that color is everywhere over this conversation.
Wow. That's interesting.
Ugh. Yuck.
Yucko.
Ugh.
There's something to chew on.
Holy moly. That is yucky.
That's like the candy center that's
Yep.
creamy.
Yeah. The gooey center.
Yeah, the gross kind of chocolates that you bite
Yeah.
into.
Ugh.
Nope, I didn't want that one. Put that one back.
Oh, the box of chocolates and you don't know what you're going to get.
Save that one for my
Yeah.
brother.
Funny thing is, when you get older, none of them are bad anymore. Your taste buds change
I
just
still-
enough so they're not terrible.
I still do have my absolute favorites.
Oh, I have my
Ones
favorites
that
too,
stay
but there's
away
not the
from.
ones. But there aren't anywhere I'm like, oh,
I like the
gross.
treasure map on there that you can kind of tell where things are at.
Yeah, when you're a kid, you had no idea
No.
that's what that was. No. Oh, I
Oh,
haven't
funny.
had a good box of chocolates like that in a long time. Maybe I should get. No, I better not. I'll eat them.
Not a
I
good idea.
can't trust myself
Don't
with
do
that.
it.
I will eat them.
We had decorated Christmas cookies this
Oh,
last weekend
yes.
with the kids. Damn it.
They're hard
it just
to stay
can't
away
be
from.
there. It just cannot be there. Yeah.
So what are you going to do? You have to wait till Christmas is done?
I hope that on Saturday when our first Christmases start, they all get eaten. And
Oh,
Scott's
okay.
been eating them too because he's worse about it than I am.
Is he?
Yeah.
Sweets are his thing.
Sweets are definitely his thing, where savory is more my thing.
Oh, sure.
I mean, I'll eat myself a Christmas cookie. But not like, it's not as bad for me as it is for
Okay.
him with that
All
kind
right.
of thing. Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm the one who eats the sugar. and-
Sugar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh, on occasion, he'll go like little spurts where he's got a sweet tooth and then he'll maybe want ice cream or, something like that.
Yeah.
It is really hard for me to have it in the house and
Yeah.
not eat it.
It's like a downfall. Like, it's going to get me. Just
Yep.
get it out of here.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I can have it in the house if I don't see it. So if it's in the cupboard and I forget about it,
Yeah.
it's okay. But then one day I'll open that cupboard and be like, oh, I forgot I've got these chocolates.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll remember and then I have to eat them till they're gone.
Oh, it can be in the house. This goes back to this all or nothing thing
Ah,
for me. If it's in the house, I'm okay. As long as I never touch, I don't give myself one bite.
Don't even start.
No. And then I'll be fine. But if I give myself that little bit, it goes
really?
back to exactly why I
It
get,
is.
it's all or nothing. I have to do it every day or
Or
I'll
it will
just
be 0
excuse
days.
myself away.
Okay.
Yes,
I can't have any chocolates or I will eat them all.
correct.
Ah,
Correct. If I have one little bit of brownie, I
You
might
eat
as
the
well.
whole pan.
Yes. Happens to the best of us. It does. Pretty soon you're knee deep in it.
reminds me of there's some videos that I've seen with little kids who are, their mouth is covered in chocolate. Did you eat any chocolate? No. What's on your face? Lipstick?
Absolutely nothing.
Ramen noodles?
There's absolutely nothing on my face. Oh,
Oh gosh.
I don't care what you see.
Like that.
Yes.
Yes. That's what happens with the pan of brownies. Yeah.
All right.
All or nothing.
It is all or nothing.
Well, New Year is coming.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you do New Year's resolutions?
Well, it was one of my excuses, very similar to yours. Like, this is just such a really stressful period of time, and I could just use it for a New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
I don't traditionally do resolutions like that because I get
one more reason to be shameful.
Everybody fails at New Year's resolutions.
Yeah. Yep. Years and years ago, I would cobble together a little list, and I never followed through with it. So yeah, I stopped doing that.
I guess I'm more of the vision boardy type of girl as it relates to that kind of thing.
See, now that would make more sense to me because I can leave it out, and it's something I'm looking at that reminds me that was important. So do something about it, as opposed to it just being a list in my head or a list that I stick in a drawer or whatever that I never really see, and then I lose sight of it.
Fair enough.
That's what happens. I just lose sight of it. Yep. So how do you make this? I mean, I guess I could put a note on the refrigerator.
Could do a vision board.
Ooh, maybe we should do a vision board.
I know a girl.
Do you?
On January 5th, if you're interested.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Her name's Deidre.
Funny, I know a Deidre.
You do?
I wonder if she'd let me join.
I think so.
She would.
She already told me that.
Oh, she did. Well, look how that's come together so nicely.
I know.
Serendipity.
It's like it was all planned.
Right. Well, all right then. January 5th, you say?
Yes.
All right. I'll write that down as soon as we're done.
Fantastic. I'll let her know.
Okay. Yeah, amen. That's funny. All right, we should wrap it up. Yeah. All right.
Now we're saying the same things. Like we are
we do that. Yeah, we do that. So, Mind Garden Media, thank you again for a fabulous year, for putting our podcast together and turning it over without complaint. We still have to reach out and plan a date where we can actually see Todd.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. I'll take care of that this week. So if you're looking to do a podcast, please do reach out to them. They're on Facebook, Mind Garden Media. That's where you can find them.
Or reach out to us even. We have lots of
we know a guy.
inside,
we'll put you in. Yeah, we'll put you in touch.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you also to our listeners for continuing along on this ride with us.
Yeah.
Coming into another year with the Riding Sidesaddle.
We are. I looked at our stats last week, and now I can't remember. There were some new countries on there again, and I wish I could remember what they are. I should have wrote them down. Because we could give a shout out. We'll do that in the new year.
That sounds great.
All right. So till then.
Bye.
See ya. Toodaloo.